Very good morning to one and all. Hope you're all fine and doing well. So you all know that we have learned a few conceptual examples in the last class connecting with combination of capacitors and the equivalent capacity. I have told you when an electric circuit is given and the question is find the equivalent capacity across AB or BC or CD, we need to suppose a battery is connected across those particular 2 points, a battery is connected. Then we need to check whether they are in series or in parallel as per the charge distribution. Then we can reduce the electric circuit to a simplified manner on utilizing series and parallel combination of capacitors. Sometimes it is not possible. Then we can check the possibility for Wheatstone bridge principle and Wheatstone bridge circuit. Usually when in a closed loop there are 5 capacitors, so that each 2 capacitors lying on a perpendicular axis to the charge flow. The charge entering into the circuit, so along the perpendicular line to that you may find equipotential points. If on either sides of the perpendicular line there are capacitors, so that C1 by C2 equal to C3 by C4. Then Wheatstone bridge principle can be applied. If not, we can't identify whether the capacitors are in series in parallel on seeing the electric circuit, and where there is no possibility for applying Wheatstone bridge principle, then I have told you we need to come across Kirchhoff laws on writing some mathematical equations, and we can calculate equivalent capacity. We will be trying to calculate charge on capacitor or potential difference across every capacitor. These all things can be achieved. So regarding that, I am giving few examples, nearly 4 to 5 examples I deal in this class, so that you will be able to solve the numerical questions in the practice lab. So here there is an electric circuit. Look at this. Here there are 3 capacitors. One is 2 microfarad, 4 microfarad and 5 microfarad. 3 capacitors. Of course 2 cells are there and their voltages, 1 minute, let me check the question. 6 volt and 6 volt each. Their voltages are 6 volt each. This is electric circuit given to you. So the question is, you write down the question, find the charge on every capacitor. Of course, there can be a question, find the potential difference across 5 microfarad, find the potential difference across 4 microfarad. Like that questions can be, because once you are able to calculate the charge on every capacitor, as capacity is known, why can't you calculate the potential difference across every capacitor? Yes, we can. So this is the question. First you need to take it in the notes. What people do it is, if this is the question and the electric circuit given in the data, there itself people try to do the solution in the notes. Don't do. First you take the electric circuit in the question part, then write find the charge on every capacitor in the given electric circuit. Later in the solution, again you draw this electric circuit, there you edit the circuit for solutions. As I am explaining on the board here itself, I may edit the circuit for the solutions. But while writing in the notes, the question part of the circuit and the solution part of the circuit where you are making some changes should be separate. Remember that. So now I am going to solve this question. So in what way? Yes, here if you are going to look at this combination of capacitors, you can't say directly which are in series, which are in parallel. Because suppose for example take the 6 volts battery. Suppose a charge is drawn from this 6 volt battery. You suppose that's going to be deposited here. But later here there is a junction where charge can distribute, charge can divide. That you are keeping aside. Again charge can be drawn from this one. In this way charge can be drawn, so that depositing on this, again there will be a junction here, can be distributed in 2 different parts. Like that we come across many more options. Without worrying of that many more options, a very simple point. Let us suppose some plus Q1 charge is developed on this plate, because it is given to positive terminal, so plus Q1. So automatically on this there will be induction of minus Q1, because metal plates. Inducing charge will be same, minus Q1. Similarly, here as this is directly connected to the cell or battery, let us suppose here plus Q2 has been developed and here induced is minus Q2 on this plate. This is my supposition. However, the charge distribution, whatever the process taking place, charge on this capacitor Q1, charge on this capacitor is Q2. Then what about charge on this one? Yes, here you need to apply Kirchhoff junction law of a charge. The total algebraic sum of charges meeting at a junction will be equal to 0. Now look at this. Here C is the junction. So here minus Q1, here minus Q2. So if there is some charge here, their algebraic sum must be 0. The charge on this plate, on this plate, on this plate. The charges on all these three plates are going to meet at a junction. So their algebraic sum must be 0. Then how much amount of charge should be here? Yes, what you are expecting is right. It is a positive charge of magnitude Q1 plus Q2. Because this Q1 plus Q2, this minus Q1 minus Q2, their algebraic sum meeting at a junction will be 0. So automatically here there is a negative charge whose magnitude is Q1 plus Q2. Automatically. So this is how here at the junction C, I have applied Kirchhoff junction law of charges. That is the reason why even Kirchhoff junction law of charges can be treated as when there are different plates of capacitor meeting at a junction, the algebraic sum of all the charges on the plates meeting at a junction will be 0. The algebraic sum of all the isolated plates of capacitor meeting at a junction, this plate, isolated plate of this, isolated plate here, this is isolated plate here, all the charges on the plates are meeting at a junction. So the algebraic sum of all the charges on the isolated plates of capacitor meeting at a junction will be 0, Kirchhoff junction of charges. So that here Q1 plus Q2. Yes, you were able to identify the supposing charges on the capacitors. Yes, okay. Now how to get the values of Q1 and Q2? Yes, here we need to apply Kirchhoff voltage law. I repeat, Kirchhoff voltage law or loop law can be applied for any closed loop. How many closed loops you can see? Not 2, 3 closed loops you can see. A, B, C, D, A is one. C, E, F, D is another one. A, B, C, E, F, D, A is another one. 3 closed loops. So is it compulsory to write the Kirchhoff voltage law equation for 3 closed loops? Depends on the variables. Here how many variables you are finding in the circuit? 2 variables. So 2 equations are enough. So let me study 2 closed loops and write in the equations for them. The first closed loop that I am going to take here, it is A, B, C, D, A. A, B, C, D, A. What is Kirchhoff voltage law? The algebraic sum of all the potential differences in a closed loop will be 0. So here in this A, B, C, D, A is a closed loop. While going from A to B, there is no potential difference because there is no circuit element like a capacitor, resistor, like a battery, nothing is there between A and B. So no potential drop, no potential difference from A to B. So A, B, B to C. B to C, while moving from B to C, there is a potential drop because positive plate to negative plate. Potential drop. How much potential drop? V is equal to Q by C. C means 2 microfarad. Let me write in terms of microfarad for some time. But there is a drop, that's why it is negative. Rise means positive, drop means minus. That we have learned in the earlier class. Later. Now here, CD, C to D, plus 2 minus, again potential drop. How much a drop? Q, ante Q1 plus Q2 by C, C means 5 microfarad. Of course again minus, that minus I am putting here itself. Plus of minus is minus of like that. Next, D to A, negative terminal to positive terminal of battery, potential rise. So plus, how much potential? 6 equal to 0. 6 volt equal to 0. So if you are going to simplify this, point, what you can do here it is, on simplification, once you look at this, minus Q1 by 2 microfarad of course, minus of Q1 plus Q2 by 5 microfarad equal to minus 6. This minus can cancel throughout the equation. So your equation is going to be now Q1 by 2 microfarad plus Q1 plus Q2 by 5 microfarad equal to 6. Minus cancel now. Now here you can do one thing. Microfarad means 10 power minus 6. Very important part of calculation. Not in SI unit, that is microfarad, 10 power minus 6. If you take LCM here, 2 5s are 10 microfarad is the LCM. Then here 5 times 5 Q1 plus here 2 times of Q1 plus Q2 is equal to 6. Then here it is 5 Q1 plus 2 Q1, shall I write 7 Q1 numerator directly, and here 2 Q2 is equal to 6 into 10 microfarad. Let me write 10 power minus 6 farad without any doubt. 10 power minus 6. So if I am going to simplify, 7 Q1 plus 2 Q2, have you seen left side? 7 Q1 plus 2 Q2 means it's the sum of charges is equal to 6 into 10, 60. So as the left side is the sum of charges, 7 Q1 plus 2 Q2, certainly right side will be in terms of coulomb. But 10 power minus 6 is there, so let me write directly microcoulombs. Hope you got a clarity. Of course, if you want, you keep it as 60 into 10 power minus 6 coulombs, or 60 into 10 power minus 6. In the place, you can write 60 microcoulombs. Ultimately, charge you will get in terms of microcoulombs, so that's it. So this is a very important part of calculation where people commit mistakes. That you need to take it. So I got one equation. Now here I am going for the second equation on taking the second loop. What is the second loop here? CEFDC. CEFDC is the second loop. Then here potential drop. Here minus to plus. So potential rise. Q2 by 4 microfarad. I don't take that much time here. Here plus to minus potential drop. How much? 6. So minus 6. Here D to C minus to plus potential rise plus how much? Q1 plus Q2 by 5 microfarad equal to 0. Algebraic sum of all the potential differences is 0. Then if you simplify this, Q2 by 4 microfarad plus Q1 plus Q2 by 5 microfarad equal to 6. Then you can take here 20 microfarad you can take here. Then here 5 times 5 Q2 plus here 4 times of Q1 plus Q2 is equal to 6. So that here 5 Q2 plus 4 Q2, it will be 9 Q2 plus 4 Q1 is equal to 6 into 20, 120 microcoulombs. Because the left side it is the sum of charges, so right side will be in terms of coulombs, but it is microfarad, that's why microcoulombs there. So now you have got two equations, 7 Q1 plus 2 Q2 equal to 60, 4 Q1 plus 9 Q2 equal to 120. Can you simplify these two? This is first equation, this is second equation. Can you simplify that? Yes, you can. How can you simplify? Very simple. Do one thing. First equation multiply with 4. Second equation multiply with 7. Multiply with 4, multiply with 7, then subtract. If first equation multiplied with 4, this is first equation, this is second equation. This first equation multiplied with 4. Hope you are sure of calculation because you are not small kids. 28 Q1 plus 8 Q2 equal to 460 are 240 microcoulombs. Don't forget. Here with the 7, 28 Q1 plus 63 Q2 is equal to 720 sir. 720 sir. 700 140. So 840 microcoulombs. Now you go for subtraction. Q1 gets cancelled. Now here either this minus this or this minus this. However it is. 63 minus 8. 63 minus 8. How much? 55 I think. 55 Q2 is equal to 840 minus 240 is 600 microcoulombs. Then Q2 is equal to 600 by 55. 600 by 55 means you can cancel 5 tables. So it is 120 by 11 microcoulombs Q2. Q2 is 120 by 11 microcoulombs. Can you get Q1? Yes, if you substitute any one of the equation, you can get Q1. So hope you will be able to calculate Q1. Hopefully, I am not doing here. Yes. So finally, you will be able to know the values of Q1 and Q2 from this calculation part. If you wish, let me tell you even Q2 value is 120, 1 minute, 60 by 11 microcoulombs. Another, sorry, Q2 I have written, another 60 by 11. Q1 value, shall I write here? I write here, Q1 is equal to 60 by 11 microcoulombs. If you simplify, you will get this. So Q1 is 60 by 11 microcoulombs. Q2 is 120 by 11 microcoulombs. Now here, this is Q1 plus Q2. So 120 by 11 plus 60 by 11. Here I wish to tell you one thing. For example, just for example, Q1 equal to minus 5 microcoulombs. Just for example, Q1 equal to minus 5 microcoulombs. Q2 equal to plus 3 microcoulombs. Then here it is Q1 plus Q2. Then do you write 5 plus 3 equal to 8? No, never. Q1 equal to minus 5 microcoulombs. Q2 equal to plus 3 microcoulombs. Then Q1 plus Q2 means minus 5 plus 3, which is minus 2. Don't forget that algebraic sum of charges, which is very important. And you can check finally the sum of all the charges on the plates meeting at a junction should be 0, Kirchhoff junction law. So Q1, Q2, once you got, you can calculate the charge on 5 microfarad, write the conclusions. Don't leave it there itself. You have got Q1 and Q2 and calculate charge on the capacitor 5 microfarad also, which is Q1 plus Q2. Later, if you wish to calculate, you can calculate a potential difference across every capacitor because Q is equal to C into V. So this is how Kirchhoff laws, both junction law and KVL, voltage law or loop law, we were able to apply in this solution. This is how selectively I give few examples so that to insert the concept properly. Just with the definitions, you won't get perfection. After learning the concept, you need to apply with some numerical applications where you can learn little bit more. That is my intention. That's why I am explaining few numerical questions after dealing with the concept immediately. So please make a note of it. We discuss just two or three questions in this way so that you get some perfection. Of course, little in this solution. No doubt. Yes, look at the next example. Here there is a group of capacitors connected in the electric circuit along with the cells whose voltages are 6 volt, 12 volt and 24 volt and whose capacities are 4 microfarad, 2 microfarad and 1 microfarad. So in this situation, we will not be able to guess whether they are series in parallel and we can't apply Weismann bridge principle. Even on seeing that itself you can say on. Of course, the closed loop is A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F. This PQR additionally I have given just for convenience, that's it. Now here we need to solve the question to calculate charge on every capacitor. Of course, to calculate the potential difference across every capacitor. So in such a situation, what can we do? Yes, just suppose there is some charge Q1 has been developed on the plates of first capacitor. నేను ఎక్కడ తీసుకుంటాను Q1 అంటే తీసుకోండి, there is no problem. And here there is some charge Q2 has been developed on this second capacitor. So that here you don't write Q3, don't increase the number of variables. Try to take as less as possible number of variables which can be solved easily. Of course, if you are taking Q3 also you can solve because you have 3 loops, you come across 3 different equations, you can. But for the simplification purpose, let us confine to only 2 variables. How? Yes. See this plate and this plate. All these isolated plates of capacitor are meeting at a junction E. so that their algebraic sum of charges will be 0. Minus q1 minus q2, you can expect this is a plus of q1 plus q2, so that this will be minus of q1 plus q2. Hope you can guess. Minus of q1 plus q2, you can guess. So this is my electric circuit now. Before writing the charges, take the circuit related to the question. Then for the solution separately you draw the electric circuit, then mention the charges and go for editing in the solution. No doubt. Now here, let us take the loops here. First of all, what I do it is, I consider one loop which is A, B, E, F, A. A, B, E, F, A. So that I come across a mathematical equation between Q1 and Q2. Next, let me take whether it is A, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, I mean A, B, C, D, E, F, or else B, C, D, E, F, where you come across mathematical equations in between Q1 and Q2, however you take. So first of all, let me take the entire closed loop A, B, C, D, E, F. There is no need as it is to do like the loops I have taken. You can take the loop of your choice to apply KVL, there is no doubt. So let me take A, B, C, D, E, F, A. This is the closed loop. Then here from A to B, B to C, there is no potential drop. But here C to P, there is a potential rise of 6 volt. Later P to D, there is a potential rise because minus to plus. That's why how much potential rise? Q by C. I mean Q1 plus Q2 by 4 microfarad again. Next, D, E, F, there is no potential drop. Now F to R, potential rise. How much rise? Q1 by 1 microfarad. Next here R to A, closed loop plus to minus, potential drop minus 24 equal to 0. If you simplify this, plus 6 minus 24 is minus 18, take to the other side. Simultaneously take here 4 as LCM. So I mean 4 microfarad. Then 4 for one time, Q1 plus Q2, plus here 4 times 4 Q1 is equal to plus 6 minus 24 minus 18 goes to other side plus 18. Now here 18 for 72 microcoulombs because left side charge. So Q1 plus 4, I mean 5 Q1 plus Q2. So I am writing the equation here, 5 Q1 plus Q2 is equal to 18 4 72 microcoulombs, don't forget, because in the denominator there is a microfarad. This is one equation. Yes, let us see another closed loop A, B, E, F, A. A, B, E, F, A. From A to B, no potential drop, but B to Q, potential rise, minus to plus, that's why plus 12. Then Q to E, potential drop, because plus 2 minus, how much potential drop? Q2 by 2 microfarad, but minus, potential drop, so it is minus. Next, EF, no potential drop. F to R, minus to plus, so potential rise, so plus. Q1 by 1 microfarad. Next, R to A, potential drop, minus 20 equal to 0. Now if you are writing here, once you look at this, the equation is Q1 by 1 microfarad. Of course, let us take 1 to 2 LCM 2 microfarad. 2 microfarad here 1 time, so minus Q2 plus 2 times 2 Q1 equal to plus 12 minus 24 minus 12 goes to other side plus 12. So this equation is 2 Q1 minus Q2 is equal to 24 microfarad. So two equations. This is one equation and this is another equation. These equations to be solved. How to solve? Add them. On adding Q2 will get cancelled. Then 5Q1 plus 2Q1 will be 7Q1 is equal to 72 plus 24, 96. Microcoulombs, don't forget. Microcoulombs, don't forget. So that Q1 is equal to 96 by 7 microcoulombs. Then from this you can calculate Q2 also. Let me tell you the final answer of Q2 also, 1 minute. It is approximately, one is 13.7, the other is 3.4. This is approximately 13.7, the other is approximately 3.4, approximately 3.4 microcoulomb. Substitute here, you will get it. So this is how, this is 13.7 approximately. Approximate values I am telling. Of course, fraction means accurate. 96/7. You can try even for Q2 also, do the calculation part. So this is how the things can be solved using Kirchhoff laws, junction law and voltage law. Of course, apart from this, there are some more electric circuits, some different electric circuits, not about this. There are some other complex electric circuits where combination of capacitors can be taken into account, but to solve them, few more techniques to be used, which you will learn during the concepts of current electricity. Then we will get back to combination of capacitors once again. Irrespective of those things, we are dealing with few things regarding combination of capacitors. Note down this question. Yes, here on the board you are finding two examples, but which are completely different examples. So there is some common also, of course. Here 20 volts battery, here also 20 volt battery. Here there are 4 capacitors, here also there are 4 capacitors. But only the thing it is, here there is a switch in between C and D which is opened, but here the switch in between C and D is closed. Here switch S is opened, here switch S is closed. Of course, you can do this question taking the same capacitor values. Here capacitors 1, 2, 2, 1 I mentioned. Here 12, 24, 24, 12. Of course, this question can be solved with 1, 2, 2, 1, or this question can be solved with 12 and 24 combination. However you solve. Just for a change, I have taken different numericals. But first try to learn the concept in the question. Here in this particular question, you can calculate equivalent capacity in the electric circuit and also charge on every capacitor you can calculate. But just before going further, once try to observe the electric circuit, there are 4 capacitors, 1 microfarad, 2 microfarad, 2 microfarad and 1 microfarad. In this situation, here from this, some charge is drawn from this. So of course, let us suppose here plus Q charge has been developed, just suppose. Then here certainly there will be minus Q. Whenever here Q has been developed, then here how much charge to be developed? Yes, to learn that, let me suppose here Q charge is drawn in this way, then I take this is X, this is Q minus X. But of course, this is minus, because this is plus and this will not be 1 minute. This is Q coming, here X, and here it is, as this is X, this will be for us Q minus X certainly, because junction law of charge. Junction law of charge, algebraic sum of all the charges meeting at a junction will be 0. Q is coming, will be distributed as X and Q minus X. Similarly, from here, when that is Q, here it is, this should be, listen carefully, here 1, 2, 2, 1. So in that way, if you are going to look at that, here Q charge is coming, then here this will induce X here plus X, this will induce minus X, because these two are in contact. So when this is minus X, this will be plus X, and automatically this will be minus X. So this will be plus Q minus X. Then here this is plus Q minus X. As this is plus Q minus X, this is minus of Q minus X. In that way, there will be charges developing on the capacitors. I repeat, Q charge is drawn from the cell. Here Q distributing as X and Q minus X. As this positive X, this is a negative X. This is in contact with this plate. So here will develop plus X. This is in contact. Algebraic sum of the isolated plates meeting at a junction will be 0. Algebraic sum of the charges on isolated plates. So this minus X ayinappudu this plus X avvali. So that these two plates are meeting here, their algebraic sum must be 0 for the charges. Similarly here also. Then here it is minus X. 1 minute, this is minus x, this is q minus x, because here q should come out. At this junction, whatever the charge entered should be coming out of this junction. That's why here minus x, here q minus x here plus this one, then here it is q. Algebraic sum of all the charges will be 0. You can check if you want. This is away from the junction. This is in this way, and this is in this way. This is x towards the junction. This is q minus x towards the junction. This is away from it. So in that way, charges can be induced on the capacitors. And so look at this distribution of the charges, which is very important here. And here it is plus q minus x. Here plus q minus x. That's why, 1 minute. Here it is a plus, sorry. Plus q minus x. Then here it is minus q minus x. Sorry, this is minus. Then here this should be plus. This should be minus. A small correction in the notations. I repeat, q charge is coming. Here x, q minus x. This is plus x, this is plus q minus x. So plus x minus x will cancel, q will be left. Next, as this is plus, this is minus. As this is minus, this should be plus. Because here their algebraic sum should be 0 here. Here minus x, so here plus x, because their algebraic sum should be 0 here. Next, here minus x, here minus q minus x. Minus x minus of minus plus x will cancel, q will come out. This is what you need to understand. Distribution of charges. Shall I explain for this? Here q charge is drawn from this side, q charge. On coming here, it is plus x. Same just like earlier. Here it is q minus x plus. Because x plus q minus x should be equal to q, because q is coming in this way. Next, this is minus of q minus x. As this is minus q minus x, this will be plus q minus x. Because here these two plates are meeting here, their algebraic sum of charges should be 0. So this is minus q minus x. And moreover, this is minus x. As this is minus x, this should be plus x. And here it is minus x. Ultimately q is coming. This is how the explanation will be, distribution of charges. But the very interesting point here it is, switch is open, here switch is closed. That's why you can see the difference now. Here when switch is open, look at this carefully. Let me take C1, C2, C3, C4 for some time. C1, C2, C3, C4 for some time. Now here C1 is connected across AC. C1 is connected across AC. Have you observed? C3 is connected across DC. Of course, they are carrying the equal amount of charges. When two capacitors are connected so that same amount of charge is carrying on them, then they said to be in series. And here, C1 and C3 are in series. Similarly, the charges on C2 and C4 are same. That's why C2 and C4 are in series. Let me rewrite this one. Let me take equivalent circuit on taking like that. C1, C3 are in series. That means 1 and 2 are in series like this. C1, C3 are in series because they are carrying equal charges. How they are connected? Yes. C1, one is connected to A, the other is connected to C. But C3 DC, that's why what I do it is, here this is a positive terminal of battery, here it is a negative terminal of the battery whose voltage is 24. I am taking equivalent circuit. This positive terminal given to A, so let me take this is A here. And negative terminal is given to B, so let me take this is B here. And then this is C. So C1 connected across AC, C3 connected across DC. Next point, look at this. C2, C4 are in series, but C2 connected in between A and D. AD, hope you are able to get it, AD. and C4 connected across BD. So this is how C2 and C4. This is AD BD. C2 connected across AD, C4 connected across BD. That is how the situation will be. Once look at that. Between C and D, there is a switch which is opened. So no connection between C and D. The switch is opened. No connection. No closed path. It's open path. So here C1, C3 in series, C2, C4 are in series in this way. So if you are going to draw equivalent circuit here, 1, 2 in series combination, C1, C2 by C1 plus C2. 1 into 2, 1 2s are 2, by 2 plus 1, 3. So it is 2 by 3 microfarad. And later here also it is 2 by 3 microfarad. Now both are in parallel across 20 volt battery. Now here equivalent capacity is equal to 2 by 3, 2 by 3 in parallel. So C1 plus C2 parallel combination. 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3 2 times. So it is 4 by 3 microfarad. Now the total charge drawn in the electric circuit Q is equal to C into V. V 24, C is 4 by 3. So 4 by 3 into V 24. 8 times 4 8s are 32 microcoulombs. So the total charge drawn in the electric circuit 32 microcoulombs will be distributed across this parallel combination in the ratio of C1 is to C2 which are equal. So 1 is to 1. That's why here 36, here 36. So whatever the charge drawn will be here 36 microcoulombs and 32 kada, there is 32, so here it is 16. 16 microcoulombs and 16 microcoulombs. As these two are in series, here also 16 microcoulombs, here also 16 microcoulombs. Here totally 32 microcoulombs is coming out from the battery. But here across this parallel combination, this one and this one are in parallel. In parallel combination, charge will be distributed in the ratio of their capacities, which are equal. So 1 is to 1. So 16 is to 16 here. 16 plus 16, 32. Equally. But these two are in series. That's why on every capacitor there will be 16 microcoulombs. That's our solution for third question. Now let us see fourth question. Now I am going to arrange the third question. Once look at the fourth question meanwhile, as I think you have taken already. So if you are going to see the fourth question, in that in between C and D the switch is closed. In between C and D switch is closed here. Then yes, so once look at this. When C and D are closed without any circuit element, C, D are at same potential. C, D are at same potential. Then here it is C1 you suppose, C2 you suppose, C3 you suppose here, and here it is C4. So C1 connected across AC, nothing but AD. C2 connected across AD. So C1, C2 are in parallel. Next C3 connected across BC, nothing but BD, because CD are at same potential. C4 connected across BD. I repeat, C1 connected across AC, nothing but AD. C2 connected across AD, because C, D are at same potential. Similarly, C3 connected across BC, nothing but BD. C4 connected across BD, nothing but BC. So these two are in parallel. These two are in parallel since they are connected between two components. So now your equation is going to be, look at this. Here C1, C2 are in parallel. So 12 plus 24, which is 36. 12 plus 24 in parallel combination, 12 plus 24, which is 36 microfarad. Next, C3, C4 are in parallel. So 24 plus 12, or 36 again. I am drawing equivalent circuit for fourth question, 36. But remember, here the point what you need to understand here it is, this is across AC or AD. So if this is A, the other side it is C or D. Similarly here across BC or BD. This is what you need to understand. Anyway, 1 minute. Positive terminal of battery given to A, negative terminal given to B. 1 minute. Let me take equivalent circuit properly. We take first battery, which is of 24 volt. Positive terminal is given to A, negative terminal is given to B. Yes, okay. Next, across AC, these two are in parallel, 36 across AC, 36, 24 plus 12. Across BC, again 36. So these two will be in series. Of course, C, D are at same potential, equipotential points. So C1, C2 are in parallel. C3, C4 are in parallel. Again, those two will be in series. So now the equivalent capacity is going to be equivalent capacity. These two in series. So C1 into C2 by C1 plus C2. This is 2 times and 18 times 18 microfarad. And voltage 24 volt. So total charge drawn in the electric circuit Q is equal to C into V. 18 microfarad into 24. So this is going to be 18 for 72, 2 and 7, and 18 2s, 36 plus 7, 432 microcoulombs. Once check this. Check the calculation part. Equivalent capacity in series combination, 18 microcoulomb. Q is equal to C into V. C 18 microfarad, V equal to 24 volt. So that 18 into 24, 432 microcoulombs. That charge will be distributed equally to this combination. This is how fourth question can be calculated for total charge and equivalent capacity. Of course, on this here 432 microcoulombs, and on this also here 432 microcoulombs. But 36 microcoulomb is the parallel combination of C1 and C2. In parallel combination, this will be distributed in the direct ratio of their capacities. Their capacities C1 and C2 are in the ratio of 1:2, 12:24. So C1 and C2 are in the ratio of 1:2. So this 432 will be distributed in the ratio of 1:2. So charge on C1 is 1 by 3 into 432 microcoulombs. Charge on C2 will be 2 by 3 into 432 microcoulombs. Like that, charge on C3 and C4 can be calculated. Because this 36 microcoulomb is the parallel combination of 12 and 24, where charge will be distributed in the direct ratio of their capacities. That's why 432 microcoulomb will be distributed in 1:2 ratio, because 12 and 24, C1, C2. So 1 by 3, 2 by 3 into 432 microcoulomb. Simplify that, you will get charge on C1 and C2, obviously C3 and C4. So this is all for today's class. Once go through these 4 examples properly, so that you will be able to try to solve maximum number of electric circuits involving capacitors and batteries. Take care.